Now, spawning up in the top right-hand position as the yellow Zerg player representing Alien Invasion, it is HaNfy. And his opponent down in the bottom left, the red Zerg from XMG, SaltTheWound.
And, well, I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing any early pools. This 10th drone from HaNfy doesn't really signal anything that big since he did extract a trick in the last game. We'll just have to wait and see. Meanwhile, SaltTheWound not going to be going for an early pool, getting his own Overlord, and there's the Overlord for HaNfy. So everything's just looking very, very standard again at the beginning. We're not going to be seeing any okay, never mind. I saw the gas go down, thought I'd spoken too soon, but it's just an ordinary extractor trick.
The amount of times I've done that, I panic.
Yeah.
I really panic as a caster when that happens. It's a bad trait. But anyway, yeah, everything going straight, once again. And if I was actually HaNfy, I wouldn't be too eager to mix things up because he played that quite convincingly. He doesn't need to do anything too risky, in my opinion.
I would agree that he doesn't have to do anything particularly risky, but as for changing it up, the build he did on that map is not particularly good on Derelict Watcher. It's something that you pretty much only see on Frost, really, and I guess maybe Altrazim Stronghold. I haven't really seen any games on there yet because I've kind of been only at Home Story Cup for the past 5 days or so. So I'll have to actually play a little bit and see how that map plays out. But Derelict Watcher, this is probably just going to favor some more standard play. We often see Roach Hydra used here, very, very open, so whoever gets a better concave will almost always win. And, well, mutas are always a viable option in this matchup as well.
Now, once again, SaltTheWound is going for the extractor before the spawning pool, so he's gone hatch gas pool. Meanwhile, we see HaNfy, he's done it slightly differently. He's gone hatch pool, probably going to get the gas down now. There we go. So everything looking all solid. Different routes. SaltTheWound once more going to be getting speed down slightly quicker than that of his opponent, bailing slightly quicker than that of his opponent. Really all that sacrifices is a couple of drones and obviously slightly less minerals down. HaNfy,
I have to say, though, go ahead.
I was just going to say, HaNfy hasn't yet got any, neither player's got any scouting information for the moment, so they don't really know what their opponent's doing.
They do, however, know where their opponent is spawning, Madals.
That's a big advantage, and their powers of deduction are incredible. Out of the one possible place, they realise it's that one.
Indeed, very, very true. Now, as I was going to say about SaltTheWound, though, against a player like HaNfy, who is generally regarded as a pretty cheesy and weird guy, playing-wise, it's really ballsy of Salt to go hatch gas pool on this map. Like, Frost I can understand, it's a 4-player map, won't necessarily be scouted early, but going for it on this map is very, very ballsy and will in turn give him a slight edge as far as, well, link speed is way far ahead for him, and that won't necessarily play a huge role, but always nice to just have that little bit of a gas advantage in ZVZ.
Okay, so as things stand, Baneling Nest coming down for Salt, but there's a difference in where this Baneling Nest has been placed. It's not at the front. It's not in the more defensive position. It's hidden. He does not want this seen by HaNfy yet. That could signal a good chunk of aggression coming through, but there are still drones in production, so he's not going crazy about this as of yet. Meanwhile, HaNfy, he doesn't have a Baneling Nest as of yet, but he does have nearly enough gas for it. So, actually, there we go. It has got started. Never mind. So, he's going to have defensive Banelings. Can he make them work, though?
Well, we'll have to see what SaltTheWound has on his mind as well. We have a couple of Lings on the way, but so far it looks like both players just want to continue droning up here. I'm very interested to see if Salt goes for the double upgrade style again. Mass Lings is not really something that we see all too often compared to the Roach play and the Muta play, but it is something that can definitely work, especially on a map as open as this. And we have a couple of Lings moving in to scout the natural. Salt not going to opt to try to go for any of the drone kills here, and, well, he'll know the gas timing based on what he's seen. And we do have one Evo chamber on the way. Are we going to see a second one from Salt?
Oh, no, Roach. Oh, yep, there we go.
There you go, yep. All right, cool. So he's sticking to this. He likes his play. And as a third player, if you don't scout this, even if you do scout this can be incredibly annoying to try to deal with.
It's also quite interesting, though, to see that Baneling Nest at the back of the main. Generally speaking, hiding in a way like that is because you do want to try and catch your opponent off guard with it. So, for the moment, just coming in, SaltTheWound, getting a good little scout down. He doesn't see the second evolution chamber, though. That is a little bit frustrating. He only saw the one of them, so may think he's getting the advantage. But note this, a Roach Warren and +1 missile attacks coming down. Not going to be the double upgraded Lings, but double upgraded Roaches.
I really like this, actually, because I think what he's done is he's identified that he's going to be playing against double upgrade Lings from HaNfy, even though he didn't see the second Evo chamber, he should have realized last game that the second Evo chamber was a little later. And HaNfy is looking to go for the exact same style, and if there are roaches out in time, this is going to deal with it very, very well for Salt.
It is, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. A lot of speedlings, though, making their way forward. The Overlord, of course, gets a good scout of those. HaNfy, he's got the lair coming out behind this, so he's not massively committing to this. He's got the third halfway down, so as long as he doesn't die to a counter aggression, he will have a base advantage. But that 1-1, those roaches are going to be obscenely effective if he can get a decent number of them out.
Well, we have the Lings moving forward for HaNfy here. A couple of Banelings moving forward for Salt, trying to get the connections they need. Not quite. Very, very close there for our red player. He's trying to make the connections work for him. Twice now, manual detonations would have killed a ton of these. And now we see HaNfy going for lots of Banelings. 3 of SaltTheWound sacrificed to try to lessen the count for his opponent. And now, there's no Banelings left for SaltTheWound, but there's less for HaNfy. And how many roaches are we actually seeing? 5 out so far. There is a spine. This is going to be a tough hold at this many Lings out, but 1-1 is not yet done, so I think Salt can do it.
Ooh, but the Banelings are just going up on their own. The Zerglings have all pulled back, so this is actually not ideal, and that's why we see the retreat come down. Only one Baneling lost their good reactions for the moment. The important thing for HaNfy was keeping that third hatch up, plus he's getting a Spire down behind this, and if he can secure that in time and hold off until that's done, he's going to be in a great spot.
Yeah, I mean, roaches don't do very well against Spire play. But this 1-1, if he goes just mass. Oh, looks like SaltTheWound wants to go for a Roach Baneling, potentially all in, which would do really, really well against this.
Well, HaNfy is chucking down a huge ton of Spine Crawlers. He's also getting a mass amount of Zerglings.
Oh,
and he's also counter-attacking.
This shouldn't do too much. The Queen might go down, though, and with these Lings spawning, though, looks like the Queen will actually survive.
No. One hit, just the last second. Nicely done.
Alright, Spine's not yet done, but they're not clustered. These Banelings are going to have to get good hits. SaltTheWound, though, opting to wait and make more Banelings. Good detonation there for Salt. HaNfy down at supply. Well, he has Salt pushing up the ramp now. There's still a couple of Banelings left. The Spines are finishing, and I don't think he's going to be able to break this.
The third is still vulnerable, though, but that's not what Salt is aiming for. He just wants to get straight in here. The Spire is nearly finished. Some Speedlings do manage to stream their way through, but the Speedlings are HaNfy now blocking off a lot of this, allowing the Spine Crawlers to poke the damage through, and that's what they want to be achieving. They want to be getting the roach count down. HaNfy achieving it well, and he pushes this back with the Mutalisks now in production while there's not much gas.
That should be game, Madals. That, like, SaltTheWound had a good chance there, and if he'd gone without trying to morph the additional Banelings, the Spines wouldn't have been done, and he may have been able to just break the left-hand side and move into the main, but HaNfy able to hold very, very nicely there. 1-1 Lings will be able to clean up pretty much the rest of this. He's going to try to poke on in here. The Lings won't kill SaltTheWound, but the Mutas will. There's no spores, there's no anti-air, no lair even done yet.
The lair is about, well, 3/4 done, but as you said, more Mutas coming out, and the only real challenging thing is the fact that there were so many Banelings made for HaNfy that his gas count wasn't that great, so he hasn't been able to amass many Mutalisks yet. But he does now have his 5th and 6th Vespian Geyser taken. He's going to be mining extra 200 minerals per minute. He's already got a decent amount coming out. 5 more on the way, takes him up to 7. And once he gets kind of to that 10 plus mark, he's going to be in a good spot. There's still no sign of any anti-air coming down from Salt.
Yeah, HaNfy has complete map control, and once you've established this much map control, then the Mutalisk player really has to make a mistake. He's got to really be able to... He has the ability to identify just how many drones he can make, just how greedy he can be. And if he is as greedy as he can be, and continues his upgrades, which he does look like he's doing... Ooh, he's going into roaches, actually, and I like this from HaNfy. He's actually just going to try to get a superior economy. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for the third after this foray into the main, but there's no anti-air in the main, and he'll be able to pick up a lot of stuff here, and he'll be at such an economic advantage that he should actually just be able to get a huge roach lead despite being behind in the roach timing. And now all of these drones are actually going down. SaltTheWound not pulling them, Madals.
And this is significant losses. Those Mutalisks may have only have killed 10 workers so far, but that number increasing ever more. Big amounts of damage being done. A counterattack coming in from Salt, and that's really his only option at the moment. Is he's got to be aggressive. He's just plummeted down to just 25 drones compared to 61 of HaNfy. HaNfy getting out more Mutalisks. The Spine Crawler is still up. The Baneling's morphing in too. Everything.
This is a really nice setup from HaNfy. I just want to
say. It is. It is absolutely fantastic, but the engagement is going to come down. The roaches spread out. There's so many spines, though, and the Mutalisk just working away at the roaches on the ground.
Yeah, there's just not really much here for SaltTheWound. He's down 40 supply. The Banelings could even be used if they need to be. The army's cleaned up. A couple of roaches will pick up the Queen in the natural, and they will be able to go for a couple of drone kills, but that is absolutely nowhere near enough. GG damn thrown down from SaltTheWound, and HaNfy looked really strong there. And it's a different matchup, but Sake is going to be in for a tough fight if HaNfy can play that way.